Good day, everyone. My name is Bill Harshman, and I'll be hosting your session today. This vlog is presented by Training Location, your DISC provider. We are an authorized distributor of DISC from Wiley Publishing, as well as a channel partner with the Ken Blanchard Companies. Thank you for your interest in visiting us today and our website. So our topic today is responding to the D or dominant style. You'll discover simple and effective ways to improve interactions with the Ds in your life. This is one in a series of discussing the 4 DISC styles, which include dominant, influence, steady, or conscientious. And you may hear them as dominance, influential, steadiness, or conscientiousness. Before we begin, let's review the cornerstone principles of DISC. All DISC styles are equally valuable. No single style is better than any other, and everyone is a blend of all 4 styles. Now, in the interest of time, I won't repeat other foundational information from previous blogs. However, I always encourage you to refer to them for yourself and others at our website, www.traininglocation.com. Now, those of you who joined us before know that I refer to our PACE and priority model, or grid, as the essential tool to diagnose and discuss DISC styles. This may be redundant to those of you following our vlogs. However, it provides a reinforcement if someone is seeing this blog first from the collection of those on our website. The vertical axis represents PACE, and we see the descriptors at the top and bottom of the PACE spectrum. The horizontal axis represents priority, and we see those descriptors at the left and right of the spectrum. It's just a footnote on the right side. Some use the term relationship-oriented for that end of the priority spectrum as well. Now, as we look at this simple grid, we can easily begin to make the unique PACE and priority pairings into each quadrant as follows. I'll just use one-word descriptors to help us move along. So fast and task is a D. Fast and people is an I. Deliberate and people is an S. And deliberate and task is a C. This model will help us today in understanding how we can better respond to the D style. Now, to prepare us for today's learning, I want to review the dominant style descriptors from a previous blog. Now, as noted, the D style has a generally faster pace coupled with a task orientation. They also tend to be a little more outspoken than the rest of us and are generally questioning or curious and even skeptical. Other descriptors of a high D might include active, direct, firm, strong-willed, forceful, and results-oriented. And one more thing, Ds tend to be direct and straight to the point, seeking control and results and outcome. Their motto, get it done. So how do we respond to this D style? Well, let me take you through a simple everyday exchange. Let's say a high D walks up to a coworker and asks what time it is. The coworker, being unfamiliar with the DISC, let alone this individual's D style, shares, well, let's see, lunch was about 2 hours ago, and it was followed, I had a nice walk on my break, and, I'm really not quite sure what time it is right now. By now, the D is long past waiting and displays their frustration. They were hoping for an immediate, brief response, not rude, mind you, it's just their D style. Now let's look at the same scenario with a different D, with a coworker and another coworker who is familiar with DISC. And by the way, they happen to know our D friend from having been through DISC training together. The interaction results in the coworker quickly checking their watch and answering 3. And the D says, thanks, gives the thumbs up, walks off quickly, completely satisfied with that exchange. So don't let the simplicity of this scenario fool you. The same awareness applies to other types of communication, such as phone or face-to-face or text or email. So let's talk about a voicemail. A D will leave a brief phone message or even just say, call me. They'll likely skip through long response voicemail messages or simply pick up the phone again just to get the short version and call you directly. Your response? Be brief and succinct in your voicemail message to a D. Get to the point, just like we learned earlier about a D. Let's look at a handshake even when you meet somebody for the first time. A D's handshake might be firm and brief and not held for long. Your response, mirror the handshake. Embracing a D's handshake with two hands and looking deeply into their eyes is probably not going to go over comfortably for both parties. How about responding to a D email? Review this short email on the screen. Now, when you see an email written in extremely brief tone or language, right to the point, and not overly detailed, we see a style that is purposeful, abbreviated, and more notifying or informative than friendly. Based on your knowledge of the DISC model, you might begin to surmise you're dealing with a D. Your response, your task is to get to the point in your response, and it might look like, thanks, forgot it. Just real brief back to them, and not anything lengthy, unless they ask for it. So next, let's review our model again, featuring the D style as a reminder of the behaviors we need to consider when responding. So here's the model again, pace and priority model, as I like to put it, and the dominant is right there where it belongs in face and task. In the coming vlogs, we'll discuss responding to the other styles, the I, the S, and the C, respectively. Now, I hope this information addresses the challenges your organization is facing. Whether your organizational needs include employee engagement or conflict management, team building, or just simply communication, DISC is the research-based, proven leading training solution. DISC has impacted more than 8 million learners in over 130,000 organizations and through 14 languages in over 70 countries worldwide. My point, DISC delivers immediate and lasting impact on the performance of people and the culture of organizations. As always, the key to effectiveness through DISC is understanding your and others' styles, then using that knowledge for improved interaction. Thank you for joining us today. Here's our contact information. Meanwhile, good luck with the DISC, and contact me with any questions you might have around its delivery. I hope this information has been educational, valuable, and helpful. I look forward to seeing you on a future vlog. And if you'd like to discuss a free webinar introducing DISC to your team or organization, please use the email shown, info@traininglocation.com. Thank you, and goodbye until next time.